So let's talk about some of the common Social Security pitfalls. One of the first pitfalls is claiming early just because. Almost never do I hear retirees say, man, I'm so glad I claimed Social Security early. In fact, the opposite is usually true when a person's upset that they claimed it early because now they're locked into a lower paycheck for the rest of their life. Now, there are some instances where it would make sense to claim early. However, claiming early just because, not really a good thing. Keep in mind, if you claim early and you continue to work, you can't earn much money. For every $2 you earn above a certain amount, which is $23,000, they take away $1 of your Social Security earnings. And then eventually, the year you're going to turn full retirement age, you can earn more, like $60,000, but still, for every $3 you go above that, they take $1 away from you. So for many people, claiming early doesn't really work out. Another common pitfall is just not understanding how taxation works on Social Security benefits. In some states, Social Security benefits are fully tax-free. That may not be the case in all states. And if we think about federal, Social Security benefits can possibly be taxed anywhere. So as an example, let's say you're married and your total income, according to Social Security, is $30,000. Well, 0% of your Social Security is taxable. So when you file your total tax return, you're paying no taxes on Social Security. For that same married couple, let's say your total income is $60,000 according to Social Security. In that situation, 85% of your Social Security would be taxable. So if your total Social Security is $40,000, they would then say 85% of that is taxable. That number then counts as ordinary income and gets factored into your total tax return when you file. Really important to know that you are ultimately in charge of how much of your income is countable to Social Security. By doing some planning, you could perhaps have 1, 2, 3, 5, or even more years of tax-free living in retirement by strategic planning and a tax-efficient retirement strategy. Another common pitfall is to not make the optimal family choice. If you listen to generic financial advice, we always assume that the higher income earner is a male and that they're 2 years older than their spouse. That's not always the case. And if that's not the case for you, then the generic advice may not work out great. So with that in mind, Social Security is one of those decisions where you really want to measure twice and cut once to pick the best choice for your particular situation and your circumstances. Another pitfall is just waiting to claim. According to the Social Security website, it can take around 10 weeks or so to get your benefit. So you definitely don't want to claim on January 1st if you expect to get paid at the end of January. Now, when you do wait to receive your benefit, you are back paid for the amount that you should have received. However, if you don't have large cash reserves to tide you over until your Social Security check starts coming, you want to make sure that you claim in advance so the money is there in your bank account when you need it. Let's talk now about maximizing your benefits. In most situations, the way you're going to maximize your benefit is to consider delaying and also to have a coordinated strategy for your particular situation or your joint situation with a spouse. By delaying, you're making that Social Security check bigger and bigger. So instead of $2,000 a month, maybe it becomes $2,500 or even $3,000. And an important thing to know is in addition to that monthly payment being bigger, the yearly cost of living adjustments will also drive up both the monthly and the lifetime amounts you're going to get out of Social Security. It works out to be a pretty easy math equation. We can think about taking Social Security at age 62, 65, 67, 70, and in all instances, the longer you live, the better return on investment you get by choosing to delay your Social Security. To put that into practical terms, if you take Social Security at 62 and live till 90, maybe you receive $1 million out of the Social Security program. But if you were to wait until 65 and still live till 90, maybe that benefits $1.2 million. And then if you wait till 70 and still live to 90, maybe it's $1.3 million. So again, we don't know how long we're going to live, but as you think about Social Security, you want to maximize your benefit by getting as much as possible out of the system because we all know you paid handsomely for it, so we want you to get the biggest bang for your buck. But you also have to consider the specifics of your situation, that you coordinate with the spouse if applicable, that you think about taxes, required distributions, other income sources, your investment portfolio, your level of housing wealth. There's just so many things to consider. So with all those choices on the table, you want to evaluate everything and then zero in on the best solution for yourself. One other bonus thing to help with maximizing your Social Security is something we call the Social Security bonus. Now, spoiler alert, it's not really a bonus, but what most people don't know is that you can backdate your Social Security claim up to 6 months, and in lieu of a slightly bigger paycheck, you can get a big lump sum that you can use to kickstart your Social Security. So here's a real life example. Let's say there's a married couple and their Social Security benefit is $3,000 apiece. Instead of them claiming today and choosing that $3,000 apiece, they can each backdate 6 months and they're going to get back paid 6 months all up front. So again, simple math, the numbers will be a little bit different, but if I have a benefit of $3,000 a month and I backdate 6 months, Social Security owes me $18,000. So if my spouse does the same, they also owe another $18,000. So by backdating our claims, a couple is able to have, $30,000 or more injected into their pocket immediately as they transition to retirement, and the trade-off is maybe a lower monthly payment for the rest of their life. Now, this strategy may not work for everybody, but just think about your retirement. If you were welcomed into retirement with a $30,000 gift, could you find some ways to spend it? Maybe it's paying off debt. Maybe it's buying a new car. Maybe it's paying off your mortgage. Maybe it's throwing the best retirement party ever. By the way, send us an invite. So again, not saying that this bonus is the right thing for everybody, but it's knowledge. And that knowledge can be used to help you plan for the best retirement and the best Social Security per your particular situation. Overall, we covered a lot of things about Social Security. Regrettably, this isn't even a deep dive into the topic. In fact, we do a full 1-hour presentation on Social Security, and it still could have been more detailed. So by at least knowing these basics, you're going to give yourself the power of the knowledge to be able to make more informed financial decisions. We like to say that Social Security is one of the biggest choices you'll ever make. And for the most part, it's pretty much irrevocable. So you don't want to go back and try to change it later because that can be pretty painful. We hope you enjoyed this series on Social Security benefits, and we will look forward to more content like this in the future. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or share with others you think might benefit. And we look forward to seeing you again next time to talk more about financial education and financial empowerment.